first test I will be performing is the trigger finger test. So this is the test for trigger finger. So what I'll do is yes. So I will palpate the tendons of the first finger. And what I'm going to have my patient do is just flex and extend his finger. And what I'm looking for is a palpable or an audible snapping, which would indicate that there is a nodule in the tendon that's shifting across or snapping against the tendon sheath in his finger. Okay. The next test is the percussion bump test, bump test, looking for a fracture. So again, on his index finger, go down a little bit, just relax your hand. So what I'm going to do is just firmly tap on the tip of his finger. I would do this if I suspected a fracture and did not see any deformity. Tapping on the finger, sending the vibrations through the bone, that would be painful. Okay. The next test that I will do is the Murphy sign. In this, I'm looking for a dislocated lunate. So I'm going to have my patient make a fist, just a normal fist, and I'm looking at the third metacarpal, seeing if it is higher than the second and the fourth. If it was the same height as the second and the fourth metacarpal, then that would indicate a dislocated lunate. Okay. The next test is the Watson's test, or the scaphoid shift test. So I'm going to support his wrist, distal forearm in the radial ulnar joint, put pressure on the scaphoid or navicular. You can see that. And then I'm going to radially and ulnarly deviate. See if I can move my hand just a little bit for a better view of it. Turn sideways. So find the scaphoid and the navicular, put pressure, and ulnarly and radial deviate. Pain or a large amount of clunking could indicate a scapholunate instability. Okay. And then finally we have the Allen test. So I'll have my patient go and kneel beside the bed. I'm going to have him extend his arm. Actually, if you sit down, you might be able to extend your arm a little bit more. Trying to make do here. No. Kneel back up. So, what I'm going to have him do, let's get you a pillow so you can really extend that over. Okay, so what I'm going to have him do is just make a fist a couple times, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put pressure on the ulnar in the radial arteries. So clench your fist. I'm going to put pressure on the arteries. It's hard to see it. Okay. So put pressure on the radial and the ulnar arteries, and then I'm going to have him extend. So open up his fist. I will take my finger off, we'll say the ulnar artery, look for color to return or his hand to flush, and then after doing that, release the radial artery, and then comparing those bilaterally. If either one of those, after I remove my thumbs, if they are delayed in the flushing, or the color does not come back in his hand, then there could be occlusion in either the radial or the ulnar artery, just depending on which artery that occurs in.